You know, Rogue.
He's talking to his wife. His
Mm-hmm.
waifu.
Alright.
Hey, whenever you're ready, Rogue.
Alright. Okay, so, Doc, you've got a little special message, and I'll cue you in when you get that text.
Okay.
And Mutt and Saris also have their own special message from Agent 72. And that you guys can use at your leisure. I'm gonna start off with the intro, and then I'm gonna jump over to a scene with, which is like a flashback scene with Mutt, where he went back to his apartment last time to get the information to find out where Vega was, and there's gonna be a small scene there. TD's not with us, so he created a message, a one-way message to Mutt, and it's going to be from your computer when you get to your office.
Okay, sounds good.
So I'll play that for you, and I think it's like 2 minutes long, and then you can do what you want after that. But all right, I think we are ready to rock.
We're both recording, so go ahead whenever you're ready.
Welcome back to another episode of Chaos 6010 Primordium. Tonight's episode, we have Zypher playing the Tracer Mutt. Matihi is playing Saris, the Merc. We got Doc playing Vega, the Mech Runner. And Ghost playing Krizach, the Assassin. Did the Necromancer let Vega go? Was their escape from the clinic all too easy? Vega had been captured by Bezu, and he had a chance to meet the sorcerer and what was left of his flesh. The Black Mage was certainly on the verge of total insanity, and yet some of what he said could have some sense to it. Abezu seemed displeased that he hadn't captured one of his brothers or sisters. After cutting into Vega to see if his parts were authentic, it seemed as though he had changed his mind about experimenting for some reason. It seemed like part of the monster wanted to please his machine gods, the ones who were watching from the camera on the wall. Yet there was another part of him that still seemed human towards Vega. He was a revenant for sure, and they were not supposed to have the power to use magic, yet this one did. Abezu had mentioned being the convergence of magic machine. Was he wearing new technology to allow this? So many questions left unanswered. Vega witnessed things in the clinic as he was escaping, even while all drugged up from the pain medication and anesthesia. The bodies of fresh revenants in stasis. He was ready to leave all of this behind, all of this death, the entire thing, run away and retire to a life out of the dark. Yet this wasn't over yet. The war against Alliance was about to go down, and they might be the only ones to finish this. Maybe it was up to them to stop all of this from happening. Kidnappings, murders, necromancy, trafficking, extortion, the list goes on, of the atrocities committed by Alliance Industries, the poster boy for a new way of life. With the media obviously spreading the hype because Alliance has the money to pay for it, the fucking bad guys win again. Should they all just run away? Jump on Gold Placket's ship and just get the hell out of this solar system? If they do that, the bad guys win. Saris's husband was killed for trying to expose the company. The Doc lost his family because he didn't want to help them. So many people were killed for trying to bring Alliance Industries to justice. So many, and they all failed. But was this the reason they failed? Because they didn't have help? They didn't have a strong crew to band together to finally team up and bring down the monster who was responsible for all of this. Perhaps it was time. Perhaps it was time to band together once and for all and bring the machine gods to their knees. So the camera pans across the city, through the rain, through the night, to a scene where Mutt is rummaging through his apartment and searching for the whereabouts of Vega several hours before. Mutt, you come into your apartment and starting to power up all of the computers and stuff, and you find your GPS locator and power that up, and you're able to pick up a signal. Strangely, it wasn't there before. The minute you start to search for it, Vega's information pops up, almost as if on cue. And then there's some static that comes through your computer screen. Something similar to what happened before. You thought it might have been a delusion, your medication wearing off. Then it happens again.
I'm having some trouble lately, being able to contact you. The Alliance seems to have wised up to what I'm doing here. They've been able to kind of track me. They've enabled some type of firewall or something to prohibit some of my meandering and searching. But I have come across some files, Matt. Files of missing persons buried in their databases. These are people. It seems as though they've been taking bodies, but thousands of them. Men and children. Women. Humans and aliens. They're taking them, Matt. And they're stuffing them into these suits. And they're being pumped out as soldiers, recycled and used as slaves. It appears, Mutt, that
the military is about to sign
a large contract with Alliance Industries.
they're looking to purchase over 20,000 new recruits for service. They're calling these new recruits recycled cells. And they're going to send them to off-world battles. And Matt, I've discovered something else as well. Wow. Sneaking through the hallways. There are passcodes, Matt. Several passwords. They change every 24 hours or so, but still, I can see them. I can access them. It's strange that I can move through these walls so easily. Matt, it's as if I was meant to die in the CRS facility. It's so weird now when I look back. It's almost like there was some type of web that was blanketing the entire facility. A magical trap or something designed in an attempt to maybe catch souls. It's hard to tell. But maybe it was trying to stop these souls from moving on, but stop them from moving on to the spirit world. Like, it's almost like the necromancer had placed it there. Only, not for me, but for the doctor's daughter. As if maybe he was trying to help him. I don't know. But it appears as though Alliance Industries has been keeping an eye on you. They've put a tail on you, but that's good. That means they're scared, or at least interested in what you're looking for, in what you're doing. With them keeping an eye on you, perhaps the rest can move around a little more freely. I don't know, Matt. Things are going to get very dangerous very soon, I feel. And by the way, Matt, look outside. There are 4 agents. A car, a hover car. They're very heavily armed, Matt. Be careful. Matt, my time is limited. I hope you get this message. Aramel out.
And the message fades out, and then you get an immediate text, like almost directly after the message fades out. It's once again Aramel to Mutt. It says, Mutt, I cannot reach you clearly. They are blocking me somehow. There are 4 agents closing in on your position. They just received orders to close in. They are coming for you now. Get out of there. Almost as if he was afraid that he didn't get that last part of the message to you.
All right. And you also said that Vega's location popped up on the GPS, right?
Yeah, you were able to secure it
Okay.
and even send it to Saris if you wanted to.
Okay. I wonder if he gave me away. Aramel. And Mutt starts pacing up and down the room. He checks out through the window. Does he see the agents leave their car and start approaching the building?
Yeah, looking out down to the street, you can see them getting out of the van. There's 4 of them.
Okay.
One's wearing low light shades, and they seem to all have concealable weapons.
Nice. Mutt is going to... I wonder if he really did give me. He starts setting up this room for an escape, but anybody who comes in without authorization is going to be there for, is going to have a nasty surprise. As he's doing that, he is going to send a message to Saris saying, Saris, my location is compromised. It seems my activities have been noticed. Vega has just popped up on the map. I don't know if he's connected. This is his current location. See if you can get to him before anybody else does. If I survive this, I will catch up with you. With that, Mutt starts kind of walking around the room, hooking up things to, kind of like a booby trapping the place.
So you want to try to fry the room, maybe?
Yes.
Uh, do you want to leave the GPS there and kind of destroy it, or do you want to try to backpack that thing?
Um. I'm going to try and backpack that thing for now. Don't want to destroy it just yet.
Okay. And there is a way for you to escape out the fire escape if you want to try that way.
Yes, Mutt would definitely do that.
All right. Let's see. Go ahead and make a concealment check on your trap. If you don't have the skill, it would just be oh, there you go.
I do.
Awesome. All right, and then you bounce out into the street.
Mm-hmm. All the while, Aramil, I do not know how to thank you for this. Seems the voices are getting clearer as the days go by, but I don't think you are one from my past. I think you're really there, stuck in the net somehow. I must find the others. And Mutt's kind of muttering to himself as he starts going down the fire escape.
And with that, you're escaping into the rain. We move back over to a scene in the church when Krizach, Vega, and Saris and the others all reach the church. You guys, Vega lands the vehicle outside. And like I was saying before, this is a flash forward again back to current time when you guys enter into the hall, the Great Hall, after escaping. And go ahead.
So, as Saris steps into the Great Hall, her compad goes off. It's not the message from earlier that Matt sent. No, she'd already read that, but it's a new message she sees from Agent 072. When she takes a look at it, reading it, she frowns slightly, then panic slowly rising and assuming they know what they're doing. They know that they have betrayed Alliance, and that most likely this upgrade will be them either maybe reverting them, doing something. She doesn't know, but she knows it's not good. She puts her combat away and looks over to Vega. So, you're planning on leaving? Yes.
Vega has a half-lit cigarette hanging out of his mouth while he's talking, and he's like patting his jacket down. He's looking at his pants. He's looking for his pack of cigarettes. He's pretty pissed that he thinks he put the last one in his mouth that he's got in there right now. And he turns to Saris. He's all, well, yeah, fuck right, I'm leaving. I'm leaving as soon as I can. You know what, I can't even go back to I can't even go back to my flat. I know that place isn't safe now. I don't know what you did. I don't know what happened. It was supposed to be one job. I was going to get in there and help you. And now look at this. Look at this. Who do we have on our tail? Why are we here? And he looks over at Kohakmon, whoever that is. He looks over and who the fuck are you? Why am I here with all of you people?
Vega, you need to understand that the people who brought you to that location, the person. Maybe. He works for Alliance. And it is Alliance who I think is going to be maybe coming after us. They've already sent me a message saying that they want me in for upgrades. As far as I know, Mutt has been compromised. I do not know if he's alive or if he's dead. Gohak Mon and Gavis here, they were kind enough to take us into this temple. So far we are safe. But I think if you are going to leave the city, you need to do it now. As soon as you can.
Yeah, well, the only reason I'm here is because you needed to come here. And it's safe. It's safer than my flat, that's for sure. Safer than anywhere else I'm gonna go in this city. God damn it. I don't know why I listened to you. I don't know why I listened to any of you. He looks over at Krizach and just kind of sneers. Fucking rat. Sooner I can get out of here, the better.
Good. Run away, man thing.
You see Quahog Mon is over there speaking with Garvis privately, and then taps him on the shoulder, and Garvis kind of like looks over when you get when you start to get louder, and like he's about to say something, but like Quahog Mon like tells him to leave. So Garvis disappears down into the back darkness of the corridor, and Quahog steps forward. He's kind of a large Skog priest, heavily adorned in pauldrons and a large helmet. He steps forward towards you and says, "You must be the one that they saved. I am Quahog Mon, High Priest of this church."
Vega looks him up and down. High priest of this church, well, nice to meet you, Preach, but I don't give a fuck who you are. And he looks over at Saris and Kriznash. I barely give a fuck who they are. I just need a safe way out of this city. If you can do that, then fine. That would be a great help. Preach.
He looks over to Saris. "Your friend is obviously distraught. Perhaps you need a spell to calm you down." And he says, "You're under my protection here, human. I would appreciate some thanks and respect."
And Vega, the whole time he's been talking with this cigarette bouncing around in his mouth and kind of smoke getting in his eyes. As he's talking, kind of waving smoke out of his eyes. You know what? You might have given them safe passage here, and I'm here with them. I don't know you. I don't owe you anything. If you want to kick me back out there, that's fine. I'll go back out there. I just need to get out of this town. If you know a way out of this town, let me know. I'll take it. Until then, until I can get back to my flat and it's safe, which who knows when that's going to be. And he looks over at Krizach and Saris. Who knows when that's going to be. Then I'm stuck here with you, with them, until I find my own way out.
He smiles at you, and he looks over to the others as well. He says, "You are free to stay here, under our protection, as long as you like, and we will try to get you some sort of passage out of here. It is a place for those who are unwanted. I will let you speak together alone."
Vega turns around to Saris. I don't know what the fuck you got me into. This was supposed to be something else. This wasn't supposed to be like this. Do you know what they did to me down there? Do you know what they did to me?
I'm sorry, Vega. I did not expect this to happen. I did not expect Alliance to be so quick and to react the way they are. Nor did I expect this necromancer to be taken. I am sorry. I did not protect you.
And with his sunglasses on and the cigarette hanging out of his mouth, Vega kind of throws the arms of his jacket back until it like flies off, and then he just pulls his button-up shirt open, and he's standing there with his shirt half hanging off and his jacket on the ground, sunglasses on, cigarette hanging out of his mouth, and his bare chest and arms exposed. So look what they fucking did to me, Saris. And you can see all of the scars and the incisions and the sutures and all of the torture that Vega went through. And you can see the dried blood, the swelling, and just the pain that he was put through.
And Saris clenches bottom of her jaw, looking at Vega with kind of very concerned eyes, or I'm taking in all the scars, looking him over. She takes a step forward towards him. I'm sorry.
And Vega startles and like just takes a step back away as she steps forward.
Saris looks, again, she looks pretty defeated at this point, pretty hurt by his reactions, and whatever it takes to get you out of this city, I will also help. I will give you the rest of the funds that I got from Gold Placket to get you out.
Vega kneels down and he picks up his jacket off the floor and buttons his shirt up slowly, his head just down, defeated. His cigarette's out now, just kind of a burnt butt hanging out of his mouth. He puts his jacket back on and kind of shrugs his shoulders to bring the jacket up over his shoulders. His sunglasses he's pushed up on top of his head. Yeah. That's all I want now. I want out of this place. I want out of this godforsaken city. I'm done with this work. I'm done with this line of work, with this job. I'm done with all of you. I can't do this anymore. I just can't. And he just turns around and starts getting on his compad. Just trying to figure things out, trying to figure out the safety of his flat, if he can figure out any news about what's going on, if he can get the word on the street about what's happening in his neighborhood, that kind of thing. So he's just basically turning and ignoring everyone there now.
You notice the doors open up to the outside of the church, and two Templars that are also Skogs, heavily armored. They push the doors open aside, and Mutt comes in, kind of rein on his shoulders.
How did I get here?
Either way, you could have taken monorails, or what would you have liked to have taken? You could have taken...
No. I see. I still have Vega's location on my GPS unit, right? Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
And do I know these people, the people of this temple?
Yeah, you actually came here once to make sure that they were safe, and that was an out-of-game thing.
Okay.
But yeah, last episode, I believe you dropped them off and made sure that they were all cool, and then before you went to your apartment to get the GPS thing.
I see. So, okay.
So you've probably met them in passing. You know that they're hiding out here and stuff.
Them as in Vega, Ceres, and Krizak?
And Cohawk Muln even, yeah, and Garvis and all of them.
Okay.
Cohawk Muln you probably only met for a short amount of time, was pretty much like, hello, and
okay.
then made sure that they were all safe before you left.
Okay, sounds good. So Mutt comes into the room. Okay. I'm just. So this is after my place was attacked, correct? But after this is, I'm trying to get all the timelines aligned. When did I get Aramel's message? When did I tell Ceres that Vega is out there? And when is this happening?
That would have been a few hours ago that you told Vega, or that you told them about his location so that they could come go and save him. And then when they saved him and they came back here, it's taken pretty much that amount of time for you to get back here. Yeah, sorry to like dump all of that on you guys, and but
Okay.
yeah, it was a way to bring you guys all together here at the church.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Fine. So Mutt walks in and he looks at the scene. Well, interesting occurrences have happened. My place has just been compromised.
Ceres.
Megan just kind of laughs and you don't fucking say. Fucking machines.
Ceres starts to face Mutt with a bit of a smile on her face, kind of wincing as Vega curses at them both. Mutt, I'm glad you're alive.
Yes, I am glad to see all of you, even the wretched driver.
Yes. Don't mind Man-Thing. Man-Thing mad because he get captured, blame everybody else.
Yes, that was unfortunate. And if you had listened to me after the CRS mission, those atrocities wouldn't have visited you. I have been saying from the start, Alliance is not to be trusted. And when he says that, he hands Ceres his datapad. I'm assuming you have been called in as well for upgrades and whatnot, diagnostics, all a ruse to reprogram, repurpose.
I have. I'm not going to go in, of course.
No, that would be foolish. Very foolish at this point. We have a choice, I believe, in front of us right now. We can either run, but running would mean we have to leave this planet forever.
Or
And even then, I do not think Alliance let us go, or Alliance would not be able to reach us.
we stay and fight.
Yes. I believe we have to. I don't see other choice. Aramil was in touch with me again, and I for one, feel that it is Aramil and not my voices. And when he says that, Mutt kind of shakes his head, like you can see him twitching it a couple of times. It would definitely seem extremely odd to all of you when you see him do that. He has infiltrated Alliance in some ways. He has found that revenants, and Mutt kind of points to Ceres and myself, they have been building them in the thousands. Off-world.
When you say Aramil contacted you, Vega whips his head around, and he looks just appalled and kind of surprised, and he's like, my fucking god. You know, I knew you machines were probably just a little crazy. But I watched Aramil die. I watched him get shot. I took his body out of there. You're saying you talked to him? This is just some kind of fucking joke?
Vega,
Some kind of
please.
trick to get us to go with you? You think you could use our dead friend as a way to get us to go with you? This is fucking ridiculous.
It is not. If you need proof, I can get you some. But Aramil, in a sense, is alive. He reaches out through the net, and know this, Vega, you might have taken his body out of that wretched place. You might have set his mortal remains to rest, but his soul, or whatever he used to refer to it, is trapped. Alliance Industries had set up some kind of machinery around that CRX complex. Whether it was them, that crazy necromancer, at this point it doesn't matter. But when Aramil died, a part of him was trapped. Part of him was transferred into the net. He is there now, losing himself slowly but surely, getting torn apart bit by bit, hounded by Alliance software, trying to capture him, delete him. And you know what I find interesting? After his sacrifice, and he kind of Mutt looks around at everyone, I would say his sacrifice has been the greatest. He still fights. I don't know why. He still reaches out to me. I don't know why. He still gives information, vital information. I don't know why. The net is vast. I don't need to explain that to you, Vega. He could have left. He did not. I don't know why. What I do know is that I trust what he says, and he can provide us access into Alliance. If you wish to run, know this, you will have to run for the rest of your life.
Vega takes out the cigarette butt out of his mouth and flicks it at Mutt. Then that's what I'll do. I'll fucking run. Because I saw my friend dead, and you want to use him as an excuse to go back in there. All those parts have gone straight to your head. You're fucking mad, man. You're mad. You're hearing things. You're hearing voices. You are hearing parts and pieces of you that just don't exist anymore. I don't know what the hell is going with you. Is this how it is for you too, Ceres? God, you fucking robots.
When you say that, you can see like there is this like look that kind of crosses across Mutt's face. If anybody's watching his body language, there is now definitely twitches coming about it, and you can hear him just mutter, "No, no, no, no," and then he kind of drops to his knees holding his head.
Saris will rush over to Mud.
Vega steps back.
Mud, are you okay? And she'll kneel down beside him.
Mutt, you can see like Mutt opens his eyes. They're extremely they're not focused on you. They kind of like gazing into the distance, into the ceiling of this temple. No. Saras. The programming cannot keep them at bay. It is a struggle. The Revenant program believes that it can make men into machines. But that is not the case. We still survive the process. Parts of us does. No. He did not mean that.
Mud,
Yes.
what do you need?
I am one made from many, Saras. I hear voices all the time. It was fine when I was following Alliance protocol, but since we went rogue, I have not been able to go in for my standard check-ins. I feel the medicines they give for the CRS. It blocks out large spaces of time. The last time I took it, I don't remember how I got into that subway system.
I don't know how to help you at this point. What can I do?
All I know is the answers lie with Alliance. Either I can be fixed, or I need to be destroyed. But Alliance, as we speak, is kidnapping, murdering, torturing. And when he says that, he kind of looks towards Vega. Innocents of the street, people without a voice. And every time someone comes by to give them a voice, and then he looks like intently at Saras's face. The doctor, the reporter, the necromancer, his followers, they're all part of a larger conspiracy, each not knowing what they brought to the table, but each completing a part of a larger scheme.
And we need to finish this. But you have to at least hold out until the end of this. The ones they have wronged, even Mother Yoon is downstairs. We take her and she can get her allies back. I was planning on visiting the Vindicators. We can get some help, something. We can stop this. We can stop Alliance. We can stop this from happening to anyone else. What you and I are. We can stop it.
Yes. I was hoping you would see it that way, Ceres.
My husband died for this. I have to stop it. For him. I have to stop it for Aramil. I have to stop it for the doctor. One we killed. Because Alliance told us to. We have to right these wrongs.
And Mutt looks at Krizach. I cannot say what compels you, that thing. But if Aramil does come through, then doors within the Alliance headquarters will be open. And I can assure you there will be things to plunder.
Mutt tries to, create some sort of incentive for Krizach to join this.
Krizach kind of has been holding a tech bomb for a little bit here in his hands, and just appraising to see if Mo was going to go haywire because these machine things are unpredictable, and he puts the tech bomb away very slowly.
Yes. Yes, yes. We're very interested in plundering Alliance. Steal, take all they have. Yes, and, of course, make sure they cannot chase harass Krizach anymore. Yes. Yes, yes.
Excellent.
But what about this man thing?
He points over to Vega.
He broken. Not no good
He's
anymore.
not broken.
Perhaps. Wants to run. Let him go to Go Placket. Leave this place. Meh. Get captured one time. Has mental breakdown. No fur. No fur at all.
I mean, Vega just he looks over to Krizach and just kind of snorts a little bit and shakes his head. Doesn't even really take his words into consideration. He doesn't care much about what this little animal thinks of him. But he looks over at Ceres and Mutt, and Mutt looks distraught and torn, and Ceres has been on the edge this whole time, and Vega feels just a little guilty. Listen, Mutt. I know that you need to do this for you as well. Ceres, I know you have reasons for doing this. I just don't have the same reasons as you. I'm not like you. I'm not one of you. Yeah, there's suffering people. Innocents. But that's all over the world. There's innocence and suffering everywhere. Me staying here and getting myself killed or tortured for people that I don't know here. I just can't see the logic of it. After what I've been through, I just feel like I have to leave and put this life behind me.
If you think that is best for you, Vega, so be it. I won't stop you.
Are you sure, Vega, that you can get away without being caught?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe I can, maybe I can't, but I'm definitely going to be faster on my own. I'm going to be less noticeable on my own. walking around with you three. Well, it's a death sentence.
Are you prepared to end yourself? End yourself. If you get caught, Vega, they will not stop. They will tear you apart to find us.
And Vega, he looks at Mutt as Mutt is going through these different iterations of personalities, kind of trying to fight their way through. And he's a little confused, and he reaches into his pocket for his comm pad and pulls it out, and he just kind of blindly and blankly starts reading it, and he's looking at it, and
I can read it for you.
yeah.
So you open up the text and it says it's from Aramil. And when you play it, it says, I am happy you made it out. It seems they were easier to trick than I thought. Vega, thank you for trying to save me back at the CRS facility. Perhaps I died in there for some reason. I am trapped in cyberspace now. I believe the necromancer had created some kind of soul net around that place, originally made for the little girl, but instead I was trapped. I need your help one last time. We can save these people, these souls, other souls, and maybe I can even get a body once you all reach the facility. It's hard to communicate to you all due to the firewalls and security measures, but I will contact you again soon. You are all on the right path.
Vega finishes reading that, and he is obviously completely shook. The color kind of drains from his face, and his hands are just shaking a little bit. And he's standing there, not saying anything. And you can see that he's reading something, and he reads it again. And then you see him get angry. And he's like, fuck, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Vega?
And he takes his comm pad and he throws it as hard as he can against one of these pillars and smashes his comm pad, and he drops to his knees. You gotta be fucking kidding me. And he's just distraught and upset.
Saris looks from Mutt to Vega and gets up from kneeling down beside Mutt. Makes her way over to Vega, very carefully kneeling down near him, not quite beside him. What is it, Vega?
And Vega he turns his head and looks up at Saris. It was Aramil. It was fucking Aramil. I don't fucking know how, but god damn it, he is alive. He was asking for my help. He needs my help. And he stands up and he straightens his coat up. I'm gonna help him this time. I'm not gonna leave him behind this time. I couldn't help him last time. But god damn it, If I can get him out of there, if there's some way I can get him out of there, I'm getting Airmail out of that fucking place. And that's the only reason I'm going. I'm going for my friend. I'm gonna go get Airmail.
And Saris gets back to her feet, looking at Vega with a bit of a smile on her face. I'm glad you're staying, at least to save Aramil.
And Vega kind of wipes his eyes a little bit and puts the sunglasses back down off top of his head and covers his eyes. He straightens his coat out again, shaking his shoulders. Yeah, well. He starts reaching into his pockets and he can't find another cigarette anywhere. I'm gonna need some cigarettes if we're gonna do this right.
Well, if you're going to get cigarettes, just be careful. I'm going out. I need to go and see a few people, see if we can get more assistance in our fight with Alliance.
And Vega just nods in agreement, understanding.
Cyrus looks back to Mutt. You're going to be okay here? Or do you want to join me?
I will come with you, Saris. If we are venturing out of this place, I recommend at least 2x2s. No one walks out alone.
Okay. She'll walk over to Krizach. And just to let you know, Krizach, if you lay a hand on Vega, I will make your death slow and very painful, and I will take all your things. Understood?
I think Ghost, you're muted.
I guess that's a yes.
Oh, yep, I am muted.
What? No harm come to man thing. Fingers crossed.
It better not. Because my vengeance will be swift. Understand this.
Just remember, machine thing.
Taps his vest.
I have two for a reason.
Fine. Let's... We should be going.
Yes. Mutt kind of, with difficulty, kind of pushes himself off the ground, stands on his feet, and you can see he's a little shaky when he stands up. And then he takes a couple of steps, and kind of starts, the strength starts coming back. Yes. Yes.
Good. I am not sure if you're familiar with the name again, the Vindicators, but they were present when we were by the trains.
Yes. I remember the young one who we could not save.
I have a feeling that someone I know is with them. But I also feel like they will help us. At least I hope.
Very well. I shall come with you and keep an eye out.
Alright.
Are you guys going to ride with Vega and have him drop you off in that location, or do you want to take maybe the monorails or a taxi or something?
Oh, we'll probably get Vega to drop us off, because taking the monorail is a bit dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, Vega, when they suggest that, also counters with, yeah, well, flying in that thing to escape was one thing, but getting back into it and flying it around, I don't know if they are able to track it. I don't know if they've got GPS on their vehicles. I don't know anything about that vehicle. It's not mine. We could easily be caught. What we need to do is dump it. We need to dump it and find something else to get in.
Well, we need to find something else.
Why not just take taxi? Not monitored. Probably.
Hopefully not. What do you think, Matt? I'll defer to you on this.
Yes, I think the taxi would be appropriate. You two and Saras and myself separate taxis, and we meet back here. And Mutt looks at Saras. How long should it take?
I don't know. I would say 4 hours, maybe. Depending.
And then Mutt looks at Krizach and Vega. 6 if we are not back in 6 hours. I wish you both best of luck. Leave this place. Anything that you have told us, change it. Any plans you have made and told us, change it. Have a secondary backup plan to leave this place and keep it to yourselves, whatever it may be.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and Vega just kind of shakes his head. Yeah, well, that's all a given. We'll be on our way in a different direction if things don't go down the right way. So we should probably get started if we're going to make any of this happen.
Good luck.
And with that, you guys order a taxi? And Vega and Krizach, what are you guys going to do? Did you want to go shopping, or do you want to take that vehicle back to your place, get your vehicle, or?
I would probably not go anywhere near my flat anymore. After everything he's been through, his paranoia is through the roof. So Vega is just he's done. He's stuck. He's just waiting for everyone to finish doing what they need to do.
Okay.
He's just gonna kind of mill about and wait for them to finish up what they need to do. Maybe, you know what he might do is take that vehicle and ditch it somewhere, and then get a taxi back here.
Yeah. Maybe get some cigarettes on his way back.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. And Krizach, you want to roll with him? Or are you going to stay
Sure,
here?
but Krizach will go try to go collect some things from the underground if possible.
Okay. All right, cool. So, first we're going to, the camera's going to follow Saras and Mutt on their trip. To go meet the Vindicators. And the camera pans to you both riding in the car. It's raining outside, and you notice that the taxi driver is an AI. It's all automated, almost like an old Johnny Cab.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And as you pull up, it asks for 40 credits to be inserted behind the back seat, which has a bulletproof kind of screen or glass on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Vega would insert 40 credits. Mutt would insert 40 credits.
And then the taxi speeds off. Its tires fold up underneath it and it flies away, leaving you guys on the streets. This is outside of the location where you believe the Vindicators are supposed to be at.
Cyrus takes a look around, looking up at the sky a bit, blinking as some of the rain hits her face. Looks down, looks over to Mutt. I just want to let you know that I think at least one of these people could be my daughter.
Mutt looks at Cyrus and then clasps her shoulder. If that is the case, then we must find her, Cyrus. I will assist you.
Thank you. I'm nervous. I don't even know what she looks like. I don't know if I'm even recognizable to her. But I guess we will see. I'm hoping they will help us after, well, us shooting them up slightly when we were attacking Dr. Thorin's office. I have a feeling they were working for him. Or something along those lines.
Well, at this point, I do not believe anyone knows who they are working for. Let us find her and see if she can help us.
Cyrus nods, kind of a strained smile over to Mutt, walking forward, keeping eyes out, seeing if she can see anyone.
Cyrus, you notice on the side of a building this symbol here, spray painted. Almost directly underneath it, you can see an orc, kind of a shaved head, standing there smoking a cigarette, leather jacket.
Cyrus will motion over to the orc, pointing it out for Mutt. I have a feeling that this one we should speak to.
Mutt nods his head.
Cyrus will start heading over.
You walk on up to him. He's kind of cocks his head towards you, throws his cigarette away.
Hi.
What can I help you with?
Well, I'm hoping this is the right direction. We are trying to find the Vindicators. I'm assuming by that spray painted symbol above you, this is the right place.
This is the right place. What kind of business do you bring to us?
We have a job that they might be interested in, one that I think you are already in pursuit of.
He looks you both up and down, and he seems already convinced by the looks of you. And he nods, and he says, "Follow me."
Thank you. Sarah's look over to Mutt, nod, and follow the orc inside, or wherever he's going.
He takes you guys back kind of a hidden area, back through a sliding door that looked almost like a wall with posters covering it. And you can hear some music playing, and it looks like a long hallway with many different cubbies of, different types of tech, like little booths with people living in them, computer consoles and hackers everywhere. Lots of tech gear. Lots of techers, some of them with their eyes rolled up in their head as you pass by. Some of them are smoking joints, doing drugs. Looks like a little hangout here for a bunch of criminals, really. But they are armed, and most of them are wearing that symbol. If not on a leather jacket, they've got it tattooed on their arms. And as you pass through the area, you notice the orc brings you into a larger room where there's many, and out of the crowd you notice this face that you immediately find familiar. She looks very familiar to you. Go ahead and make a willpower check. Oh, yeah. Nice. We were kind of hoping you failed on that one. You feel this... immediately get this flashback of an argument you had with your daughter. And she's screaming to you about wanting to leave, and you want her to stay and hang out. And it immediately floods you with like emotions, and she leaves and storms out. And you remember a little boy crying and holding on to your leg. But you connect it with her totally. And she's like mouth open and walks up to you.
Yes, Saris steps away from Mud slightly and remembering, just kind of gets this glazed look over her face, and as the memories come flooding back, it's just tears start welling up in her eyes. She covers her mouth with her hands, trembling slightly. And before the girl really has a chance to approach her, she kind of breaks out into a run, running and kind of embracing her. Tammy?
She immediately is breaking down in tears and hugging you. Mom, is that you under all of this?
It is. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't come home. I'm sorry I couldn't make you stay.
Where have you been?
I don't know. There's not much I remember. It's more recently than anything that I even remembered you. Or Jay.
She's like totally flabbergasted, and other people are looking around at each other like, what the hell? What is going on? Guys with guns and, all these gangers and stuff that are just kind of blown away. And a couple of them start to come up and like see if she's okay, but she pushes them away, and you notice immediately that she has some kind of air of authority here. And she says, leave us alone. And then they all start to move away from her. And she says, come back to my room. We can talk in private. Your friend is welcome to come.
And Sarah's kind of has her hands on Tammy's face, kind of looking at it, staring at it, and a bit reluctant to let go. Eventually does, and turns back to Mutt, motioning him to follow.
And Mutt looks at Ceres. Are you sure? I can give you some time to talk things over.
She looks over towards you, Tammy does, and smiles and nods. Thank you. You are free to make yourself at home here. She waves around.
Mutt nods his head to both of them, and you see that he kind of finds a corner and sits down, raises his knees to his face, and just kind of puts his head down. And you can see his body starting to twitch.
She takes you back in to another chamber, which is obviously her room. Pictures everywhere, and she's still kind of welling up with tears, and she starts laughing a little bit. Where have you been? What happened to you?
And Ceres pauses for a moment, trying to remember exactly what happened. I don't know what happened, but Alliance Industries turned me into this, what they call a revenant. I have been working for them for many years. I don't know exactly how long, doing jobs they ask. And I always was seeking upgrades to have myself not feel anymore, to turn myself as much as I could into basically a machine. And it is not until the last few weeks when I have even started to get these flashbacks to when I was alive. To remember you, to remember your father, to remember. And she pauses, frowning. Remember. Seems to get frustrated. Someone else.
Ronnie.
Ronnie. Sustain.
They took your memory away.
I did. It's just bits and pieces.
She starts to shake a little bit, and she goes through a couple of her things, and Kara said she saw someone and thought it was me. She thought I had come to save her. Said your voice sounded like mine a little bit. She's like, you were wearing a helmet and armor, and you were in the tunnels. She thought it was me for a second. When you and your friends came up, I hacked the surveillance systems. I saw you running in the subway killing Darkstar. I hoped it was true. Now you're here. She pulls out a picture of the whole family with the little boy. I never hated you guys. I was a stupid little girl. I still am, I guess.
No. Though I don't think this was a life I planned for you, or I wanted you to have. You've done well for yourself, and I'm proud of you.
She says, I found Dad. I found Dad like he was, and they said it was a suicide, and I knew that that was bullshit. It just didn't make any sense.
I'm so sorry.
Didn't make any sense.
I'm sorry you had to find him like that.
I never believed what they said, though. In the police reports, it was all bullshit. I tried to get Ronnie from that place they put him in, but they told me I couldn't only visit when I was old enough to get custody and take care of myself, let alone a little boy. And I finally went back one day and he was missing. They said his grandfather had come to pick him up.
But Saris pauses again. Grandfather? I don't remember.
She starts crying and like tears rolling down her face. She's like, I wanted to kill myself.
Amy.
I didn't care about anything. I'd lost everything. Thinking of little Ro made me cry every time.
I missed out on so much. I shouldn't have gone to that basement. She frowns. There's bits and pieces that I remember from the day I was separated from you all. Not a lot. I remember your father crying on the phone. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have gone.
She holds your hand and puts the picture in your hand and says, I found a way to pay them back.
How?
And finding you, it just makes sense. I started this group. At first we were just a bunch of hackers, just a bunch of techers messing around doing free speech shit and anonymous political attacks and stuff. And one of the reasons I was such an asshole to you guys, I guess, when I was younger, it was just important to me. And I didn't have time for family. I was so caught up in all this crap. I'm so sorry.
Don't be. The important thing is you're here now. And I'm here now.
I'm so used to having to act tough and strong in front of these guys. I mean, these people follow me like I'm some warrior leader. Like I'm strong and I'm not.
You are. Because you're my daughter. You take after me more than I thought you did. Now, I hate to cut this reunion slightly short. But you know what Alliance is doing. And I assume that you are trying to stop it.
She starts to nod and smiles. She says, they're willing to fight. They're willing to fight Alliance. All of them. She says, half the time I'm freaking out in my room. I have to run to the bathroom, drop the whole facade, and start crying. She's like, have you seen these guys? I mean, I've orcs following me, Mom. This one guy yesterday sliced his fucking arm and drew a V on his forehead in his own blood and said, I will die for Vindicators. What the fuck? I mean, it's awesome, but at the same time, it scares the hell out of me. But they're willing to fight. They're even eager to. We'll be ready for you, Mom, if you need me. I wasn't there for you before, but you can bet I'll be there for you now, forever.
And when this is all over, then you will have to introduce me to your friends. Because we're getting out of this alive. Mark my words. We will destroy this company, whatever the fuck it is. We'll kill them all.
Fuck yeah. She cries and gives you a hug. They're gonna pay for this. And then she hands you her comlink chip and the picture, the photograph of Ronnie and the family. We'll finish what Dad started.
Yes, together. I've got a few friends that can assist, and well, I think they know how to get in to Alliance.
We just need passcodes. If we can get some passcodes.
We'll get those passcodes.
We've got an... Excellent. We need somebody who's brave enough to sneak on... there's so much I want to talk to you about. Just call me later, okay?
Of course. Of course. We'll sneak in if we have to.
And she takes her a while to let go of you, you know, but she eventually does. And walks you back out to meet your friend. And then the camera pans back out across the city to another location where Krizach and Vega have stopped in the marketplace. You guys, where did you want to ditch the vehicle at? Just some alleyway somewhere, maybe, or?
Exactly. Yeah. Vega will just basically look for any rundown back alley and just dump the vehicle, clean it, and just walk away from it.
Okay. On your way back to the church, you guys find this location. It's got all kinds of stuff, kind of like a black marketplace that Krizach knows about. You notice that there's an orc. He's got kind of a crew cut, probably ex-military type merc. He's got some tech items and stuff up on the shelves, but he's been known for procuring and selling weapons. All kinds of illegal weaponry as well. Even energy weapons. But you guys are free to purchase anything here if you want to.
I'll have to give you a list after session.
Yeah, that's cool.
Vega just basically turns to him and just says, "Hey, big guy, tobacco. I just want some tobacco."
He says, "Oh yeah. You want a whole carton?"
Yeah, what the hell?
2,000 credits.
These might be my... What did you say?
Inflation sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, give me a pack.
Oh, okay. 200 credits.
Vega, hands over the digital exchange of credits, and grabs the pack and immediately just tears it open and smacks it against the whole pack against the side of his leg for a second, and pulls out a cigarette, reaches into his jacket pocket and pulls his lighter out. And then he strikes it against his thigh, and the cap of the lighter, the hood of the lighter flips open with a clink, and then there's the as he starts lighting his cigarette, the crackle and the red glow of the cherry at the end of the cigarette brightens up. He takes a big, deep drag in, lets out a big puff of smoke. That's better. If I'm gonna die tonight, I'm gonna at least have some smokes on me. He just looks over at Krizach, like, what are you looking at?
Looking at wares.
You guys go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, nice. Through the crowd, you noticed, there's many people moving about here and there. But both of you kind of noticed this guy at the same time. There's a couple of them. Two guys standing there. One wasn't looking at you guys, but one was definitely looking at you guys, and then he turns away, pretending not to stare at you guys, to look at something on the shelves. And you both kind of catch it at the same time.
Man thing, time leave, now.
Vega, as soon as he says that, Vega is like, "Yep, I'm already there." And Vega turns around, drops his sunglasses, kind of lifts the collar of his jacket up a little bit, and turns the opposite direction, and just starts walking away as he kind of gives a half salute, with his fingers to the guy at the bodega.
As you guys start to move through the crowd, you notice that they start to follow you. There's 4 of them.
Vega immediately starts looking around for a vehicle. As he starts pushing his way in through the crowd, he's just looking for the first vehicle, available vehicle he can find.
You notice a hover bike that's not being attended to.
So he walks beeline straight to the hover bike and starts walking towards it. And as he's walking towards it, he speeds up his step just a little bit, and then he doesn't fucking want to, but Krizach, jump on the back.
Oh shit.
And then Krizesh will jump on the back of it and
Vega immediately tries to get it started and wants to take off.
Go ahead and roll that hot wire hack that bike, target number 6.
Hurry, scurry man thing, getting closer.
And that's which one?
Mechanic skill check, sorry.
Pilot mechanic? Or mechanics?
Mechanics, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, nice, right on it. Yeah, you're quick to get on there. Yeah, you pop it on, and you immediately click it into hover, or are you going to take off on the land for a minute?
I'm going to take off on land for just a minute so that Krizesh can get an idea of who might be following us, and then as soon as a clearing opens up, I'll kick it into hover.
All right, roll initiative, and hopefully you guys go first.
ooh.
Oof.
Oh, Becca goes first. Yeah, you're able to haul ass. Go ahead and make a pilot landcraft skill roll. Nice. So you haul ass and you're able to like get out of there, and you can see them running, and they're like reaching in their jacket to kind of brandish weapons. One of them's wearing low light goggles. Other one immediately like hits this button on the side of his neck, and a helmet folds out onto his face. They definitely look like agents, corporate agents. And but you guys are gone. Vega was fast enough on the ride to get out of there.
Yeah, Vega looks back and he sees them all kind of trying to catch up as we tear out of there, and then he looks back to the road, his sunglasses down, the cigarette he just lit just kind of barely hanging out of his mouth there, and he just smiles as the wind hits him in the face and keeps going.
And the camera pans back to the church where you guys all meet up. Everybody eventually gets back to the church and are safe in time. You notice Quahog Moan. Does everybody see okay? Back at the church? Yep. You notice Quahog Moan comes out and he says, seems to be a report on the news. Watch this. He waves his hand. You can see the holovision kind of come up on screen. Place this here for you guys. So, upcoming heroes, if you think you have what it takes to participate in the next Predator tournament, preliminary tryouts are in 1 week from today down at Haven Megadome. Speaking of up-and-coming big news on the agenda, Alliance Industries is in the spotlight once again with a stunning new agreement. Word is out that they plan on signing a contract with the Armesian Empire to sell 20,000 clone cells. That's right, that means 20,000 new soldiers for off-world defense. I have to tell you, I feel safer already. Alliance Industries claims that these clones are grown from synthetic eggs and developed in ambiotic growth serums that allow cells to stabilize and regenerate at a rapid rate. As well, these clones get to learn necessary combat training through not only cybernetic implants, but through bionetic and genetic conditioning. The company promises a new wave of technology, where in 20 years, we may no longer need to send our own soldiers into dangerous war zones. We shall see how advancement takes place in the upcoming months. This is Bonnie Monroe with Channel 6 News. Quahog Moan like...
Mutt sees that he when he just takes his fist and rams it into the into one of the pillars in full force, enough to take damage from it.
And Saris coming in looking surprisingly happy with this photograph in her hands and watching the vid. Her brows furrow, her fist clenches slightly around the photo. Those motherfuckers.
Krizach initially looking at the broadcast is just rubbing his whiskers, and then he kind of starts rubbing his hands together.
Oh, Alliance Industry telling big lies. Big, huge lies on national TV. Yes, yes. But always a way to expose. Yes, yes. Krizach has big plan.
Yeah, Vega, he just is like standing there in disbelief at what he just heard, and he just can't believe the boldness of the lies, and part of him is angry at that, but still, despite the anger about that, it's not his driving force for going in there. He keeps thinking about Aramil and his friend who reached out to him asking for his help. And Vega looks at the rest of the group. We're going to go in there and we'll expose them. We'll expose them for who they are. But just remember, we also have a friend in there. We have a friend in there who needs us. That's my main priority, is to get my friend out. And I don't want any of you to forget that. Just remember it. That's why I'm going back in. And then, when all this is said and done, my friend is out. I am done with this life. Do you understand, Saris? Do you understand, Mutt?
I think we're all done with this life, Vega. I'm not doing this ever again after this.
Very well then. Let's take these fuckers down.
Luckily, apparently my daughter has a gang, so we have allies.
Kuhawk turns towards you when you say that. You have allies with us as well.
Good. One thing, I do not know if this will be alright with you, Koakmon, but I am wondering if Mother Yoon can assist as well.
He looks down at the floor and thinks for a moment. I have spoken with the spirits. It seems that she is not ready to be purified by fire just yet. I think she can assist us in this fight.
Good. Because we're gonna need all the allies, and I feel all the firepower that we can muster, no matter who they are.
Good then, we will gather our forces, gather our weapons, and I will be ready when you need me.
And
Vega
Mutt,
reaches into his jacket and lights a cigarette.
Mutt standing there, having just smashed his fist into the pillar, and you can see his face starting to contort into what can be only described like an evil anime grin. Yes, Alliance is gonna fail. The groups are aligning. Ceres, keep your daughter close when this is done. We may all not survive this.
I left my daughter once. I will not again. I will do everything in my power to survive and to have her survive. I want my family.
Very well. Then I will head out and stake out their facility. I will contact Aramil.
Be careful.
Mutt nods and kind of holds his hand with the other and kind of bends over it, and you guys can see him shuffling out of the place. And Sarah, you would have seen that he is deteriorating as he leaves.
She just watches him go, crossing her arms over her chest. She picks the photo back up to look at it, her gaze softening, looking at the picture of her family, before putting it away and looking to Kohak, Mom, Vega, Krazat. Say goodbye to those you need to, just in case. For soon we are going to take on probably the biggest challenge we've ever faced. But we will succeed. We will triumph. And we will destroy Alliance Industries.
And with that, camera pans back away from the dark church, back through the city. And that'll be the end of this session.
As the camera is panning back, Vega turns to Krizach. I felt how tight you were squeezing me. You were scared on the back of that bike, were you?
It's called romance. Alright, another